Hello. It's a little bit of trial and error today because of the new work setup and the room swap, and I'm now on my crafty dresser rather than my big workbench. The stand for my my iPad, was on the wall, so it's now on a shelf until we can sort something more permanent out. We've tried a few things and nothing's perfect. So if we have a wobble or if I'm slightly out of focus at any point, I apologise. But I had to do something. I couldn't, I've been putting it off and putting it off to try and work out the perfect solution, and there isn't one, I'm afraid. I'm going to be just doing some very quick things and sharing today. I have 2 freebies to share for you. One is in the Facebook group because it is the Facebook group that has requested it. And the second is on the website. I am also working on another freebie today, which will go on to Ko-fi. So we hope to please everybody a little bit today. So the first thing is, I shared some tags on Facebook and my Instagram account that I made using they've been squashed together, so the butterflies are not quite as 3D at the moment. But I shared this, and I was asked by lots of people where I got that die cut from. Now, it's not a die cut. I created this file and used it on my Cricut. So the file I have prepared for the Facebook group. So this is, am I in focus even a bit? Oh, I do hope it's in focus. So basically, I use this as a cut file on my Cricut, and I cut out several of these and I stuck them together. So we've got quite a thick piece, and then I just used some silver heating embossing, as you can see there, hopefully. So that is the file that I used to create these. I just created it on the Cricut as a cut file and used black cardstock. And the second thing I want to talk about is, I'm going to just bring this in. I've got 3 examples here of printing onto a printable acetate. So I've printed these out. These are from the new Flowers, Bugs and Butterflies Fussy Cut kit. And there were the kind of 2 bonus pages, I think you'd call them, of slides. So this particular one, I have printed onto a Hewlett-Packard presentation acetate. And I got this super cheap from a charity shop. And it's got a rough edge, a rough side, and it's the rough side you print onto. And this is designed for presentations. It's designed for overhead projectors. So it's not designed for craft, but I have no idea where you'd get this or how expensive it is. Like I said, I got it from a charity shop, but it does a pretty good job. Actually, it's upside down, isn't it? It does a pretty good job. The only thing is, like I said, you do print on this rough side. So that's the first one that I have. This one is printed onto this sticks, and there's 2 covers for this, but it sticks to, and it's the printable acetate, and this is shiny both sides. Now, the older version used to come with a sheet of white paper, so you knew if you put it print side down I put it print side down in my printer, and it would print perfectly well, and that is a pretty cracking print. The newer version doesn't come with the paper attached. It comes with paper in between the sheets. You only get 5 sheets in here, and it's not extremely cheap. But what you do is you print on the sticky side. So if you just kind of wet your fingers and feel the paper side that sticks is the side you will be printing on, and obviously you can work out how that then goes in your printer. So that's those 2. And then I found well, I didn't, Jay did, he found this. Okay, and this again is an overhead projector acetate. It's the same as the sticks in as much as you print on the sticky side. Okay, and it's got, if you can see, it's not completely clear. It's got a kind of frosty look to it, very, very slightly. But this, you get 20 sheets for roughly the same price as the sticks paper. And I think this is just as good, if not better. It gives a lovely print, and whether or not that's because it's got this kind of frosted look to it, and I hope this is in focus, I really do, but I would certainly, if you're on a budget and you can get this where you are, this was off Amazon, this is amazing. 20 sheets, not very much at all in terms of the cost compared to this one. So I would recommend that. So let's move on to the freebie and a little project. I wanted to do a little something for the casebook journal, and I made this particular file just to use on the casebook journal, but then I thought I may as well extend the page and make it a freebie. But I have two things to tell you. This again is this. So this is what I will be printing onto from now on with my acetate. Now, what I did was, because this is designed to print onto transparency, I really boosted the saturation in my colours. This is the one I want to use. Now, can you see that print? Much of the research I did said to print on the transparency, you can use your default settings. And that's what this is. But with the blacks and with some of the other colours, I don't know if you can see, there's a little line going down the bird, and there's a line going down most of the black elements in this. So I had a little practice, and it is a lot slower, but this one I printed onto semi-gloss photo paper option. So I selected semi-gloss photo paper because it is shiny. It's got a, you know, it's a shiny finish. So I wanted to see whether the photo paper option would give me a better result, and it did. So there you can see both of those options and how beautiful the black is on this one here. If you're using a printable acetate, try using a semi-gloss photo. You don't need the gloss. The semi-gloss, for me anyway, worked really well. So I'm going to cut out my little transparency, but obviously these will all be on the website. So I'm going to be using one of the envelopes from the casebook kit, and I intend to layer this over the top, and I haven't exactly decided how I'm going to do that as yet, whether it's going to be from the side or whether it's going to be from the top, but I'm going to add this here. So I'm just going to give this an ink. Actually, I think I'm just going to try and fold that. Yeah, we don't need the scoreboard. I'm just gonna fold it. It's quite clear. And the other thing is, we now have the boiler in the workroom. This is the whole reason we had to swap rooms, because the boiler was in this particular room. This used to be Poppy's bedroom. We actually have a boiler issue at the moment, but it's extremely loud when it fires up. So yeah, I will, again, it's another issue with having this room as the workroom, but you kind of have to make things work sometimes. You can't have everything you want your way, and this is now how it is for us. I have one of these little, let's use the burglar sign, I think. Everything is very different, but you kind of, if you want to craft, if you want to create, you'll do it wherever, won't you? That's just a simple truth. I'm going to ink this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sew this into place. So I'm going to sew this onto my acetate here, and then I'm going to sew it onto here, but I want to work on this first. So I'm going to straighten that out, grab some stamps. Right, so I've got my standard fallbacks really. Everything's to hand. I just don't know where everything is. Right, so grab my black ink. Add that. And add that. A couple of little squiggles there. And we've got, quite like these dates actually. So I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna do that in red, I think. Put a number down here. So grab my red archival, and I'm going to use a block for this. I guess I should have used a block for the other really. Oops. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Right, so I quite like that. I've got a little bit of writing across the top there, but I'm good with that. So I'm just going to decide where I want this to go. And I'm thinking I'm going to put it here so I can see my number through there. So I'm going to sew this here, and then I'm going to sew this here, and I will be right back. So there's my envelope. Quite happy with it. Now I'm just going to trim off some of these threads, and I'm going to trim off the inside. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to grab a washi, any washi. I'm not a big user of washi, so there are a few that I use, but not many. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue around that stitching. Make sure I get either end. And I'm just going to secure that in place. Oh, it's my foxes. It's my fox tape. So, oh no, it's there. And it's going to be upside down too. So I'm just going to glue that on to my stitching to really secure that on the inside. And it will stop things getting caught in and out of that envelope. And we can see that now flips up. And we can see some of that detail over that acetate, which I love it. Right, I'm just going to decide how I want to glue this together. Right, so I want to do something to the back of this, and again, new setup, got to find things. So I've got my eyelet setter. I'm going to put an eyelet in here. I've had a lot of questions about the eyelets I use. But you know, these are a lot cheaper than the We Are Memory Keepers. These are Draper. They are Draper, and you can get them on Amazon, and they come in a clear plastic bag. And the small ones I use are from the UK. You do have to use the drop down box, and it's trimmingshop.co.uk. So you can, if you're interested in the eyelets I use, you can search those. This is the bag. They come like this. So I've got some little charms. I'm going to grab a set of handcuffs, I think, for the back of this. And also I have a bag of pieces that came from a game of Cluedo. So I'm going to use the dagger, I think. I'm going to pop that into my envelope shortly. So if I grab my... Still getting used to the layout in this room. It's very odd. Right, I'm going to go garment pin. for this, and my charm is silver, so I'm going to use a silver pin. I've shared the link to these a few times. These charms that I got are all from Etsy. And what I did find is you couldn't search crime charms or Sherlock Holmes charms. You had to actually search individual charms. So I searched handcuff charms to find these ones, for example. And they're quite cute because they do move about. So I really liked that. Right, let me grab my box of goodies, see what I have in here to kind of attach this to. Once I'm kind of, oh, look at that. So this needs a little bit of stamping too, I think. I'm going to ink the edges of this. So how am I going to, how do I hold this on? I think what I would like to do, okay, so these little handcuff charms came in this cute little bag, so I'm going to empty those out. I'll pop those in a bag with the scarves. And again, these are another charm that I got searching Sherlock Holmes scarf. Put those together. I'm going to pop this into my little evidence bag. Grab my tiny attacher. I'm going to use my tiny attacher to attach that. And then I've got my little evidence bag with my little dagger in. And that is going to go in my evidence envelope. Plain at the back, so some journaling space there. Put that in there. And that is now also ready to go into my crime journal, which is the slowest journal in the world, I think. So it will be done. It will be done. But that's our little piece for today. So this freebie will be on the website. The link will be to the website will be in the description box down below. What you need to do is sign up to our mailing list. It's free, you don't have to pay anything, but you will receive an email with a password to get into the members site, which is where the freebies are. And you will also need to check your junk, maybe check your security settings if you don't get that email. But if you sign up, you'll also get the Foxy Rag, you'll get monthly newsletters, and you'll get offers that we send out now and then. So, that's that one. The magnifying glass will be in the Facebook group. If you are not on Facebook group, I apologise, but the Facebook group freebies do appear in the next issue of the Foxy Rag, which will be in June. I think that's right. And there will be another freebie on the Ko-fi site later today. So I hope that's well, there we go. I'm here. I did a video, and it's a trial today, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.